Dons take on the San Marcos Royals in the 50th annual Big Game here at Valley Stadium on the campus of San Marcos High School. Tonight's game is brought to you by Montecito Bank and Trust, Paths to Prosperity. Also brought to you by Milpas Rental, Tim Taylor of Prospect Mortgage, Cox Business, and New Image Ad Group. Hi again, everybody. John Martini with you from Paloa Field at Valley Stadium on the campus of San Marcos High School for tonight's 50th big game between the visiting Santa Barbara High School Dons and the host San Marcos High School Royals. It should be a fun game. Both teams have been officially eliminated from playoff contention, but bragging rights on the line for the next year, and for San Marcos, a chance for them to nab the city championship. It would be their 15th should they prevail tonight. Santa Barbara, the Dons, will start with them. They are winless on the year in 2009, following a 56-0 loss last week at St. Bonaventure, a game in which the Dons had to start 10 sophomores in the game. St. Bonnie winning their 8th and final Channel League championship. They'll be out of the Channel League next year. Dons, a young team, had R.J. Roseboro out last week with a stinger, but they do hope to have their senior quarterback in the lineup. He'll be counted on heavily tonight. R.J. Roseboro, 944 yards passing and 3 passing touchdowns for the Dons this year. He's also rushed for 3 scores. Santa Barbara's leading ground gainer, Braden Stuva, has been out the last 2 weeks with a separated right shoulder, so Santa Barbara's probably going to have to go to the air a little bit more. That's not a bad thing. Kenny Foster, number 81, and Chase Chandler, number 3, will be counted on tonight. Combined have 60 catches between them, Foster with 31 and Chandler with 29. So the Dons looking for a win to make their season tonight. San Marcos, they come in 2-7. You saw their impressive win over Dos Pueblos 2 weeks ago. Last week, the Royals were trailing Buena on the road, only 18-13 at halftime, before the Bulldogs outscored the Royals 20-0 in the second half. James Crook, the quarterback for San Marcos, though, had his best game of the year, according to Coach Jeff Hesselmeyer. Crook was 7 of 10, 141 yards passing, and 2 scores. Both of his touchdowns went to their flying tight end, Benny Kirkwood. He got his first 2 scores of the year in the loss to Buena, and Kirkwood, the big tight end, leads San Marcos with 13 catches. As I said, the 50th meeting between the two schools. It's the Golden Big Game. Santa Barbara all-time leads 27-22. Dons won the first 5 meetings in the series back in the 60s. So in the last 44 years, it's been 22 wins for the Dons, 22 wins for the Royals. It's always exciting, and it should be an outstanding game again tonight. So glad you're with us. The big game between Santa Barbara and San Marcos, it's all coming up next. You're watching award-winning high school football on Cox 8.
He's the visionary.
He's the worrier.
Like most brothers, we drive each other crazy. But that's what makes our business work.
They built their dad's firm into a great company.
Our bank,
Montecito Bank and Trust,
right, has always been there for us, just like they were for Dad.
We're helping finance their expansion. And we also stay on top of their day-to-day cash management needs.
Who else will put up with us?
That's what we're here for.
I'd say it's the perfect partnership.
Kickoff.
The ball is in the air, and the 50th big game is underway from San Marcos as the Dons kicking off to open the game. A ball that goes through the end zone, and the Royals, dressed in their home reds for this golden big game, will go on the attack first from their 20-yard line. Neither team going to the playoffs, but that doesn't matter for fans of both sides. A victory will make the season of either team. As we look at the Royals quarterback, James Crook, coming off his best performance of the year last week. 7 of 10, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. As on first down, San Marcos gives the ball to Cody Clark. Their senior, 5'9", 160-pounder. Cody with a nice game last week. Jeff Zamora, 16 carries, 65 yards. He's a kid, as we said, in the Dos Pueblos game, rushed for over 800 yards last year, but this year has been just beset by injuries. He didn't get to play until that game against Dos Pueblos a couple of weeks ago. Clark picks up 3 on the first down play, and San Marcos will stamp it out to about the 25-yard line on second down. Short gain by Kyle Miller will bring up a 3rd down and 5.
And here we see San Marcos starting off the game once again with their 1-2 punch with the running backs. First Clark and now Miller looking at 3rd and long.
San Marcos will send out 2 receivers to the near side with an eye set. 3rd and 5, and straight up the middle it will be Kyle Miller, who had that fantastic game against Dos Pueblos. And we'll take a look at a first down pickup by the Royals' main tailback.
Let's take a look at the replay here. You see Crook handing off to Miller, starts up the middle, cuts it to the right, able to evade a couple tacklers for a little 6-yard gain and a first down. Move the chains.
Out to the 31-yard line. Royals on the attack. Miller, 162 yards and 2 touchdowns against Dos Pueblos. That was the week after Jeff. He ran for 135 on 20 carries in their loss to Ventura. So he has had some big games. As you look at Kyle coming off the field there, the senior, who comes into action tonight with 710 yards on the ground, 4.6 average and 5 rushing touchdowns. Picked up 2 on that play. So on 2nd and 8, it'll be Clark, who has a seam to the near side, and he is down the sidelines. He steps out of bounds as he tried to juke a Don at the 38-yard line, but it will be a solid pickup. 29 yards for Cody Clark. Let's take a look at this jaunt.
Let's take a look here. We got the pitch to Clark. An excellent block by Hernandez there to spring him free. Clark able to turn the corner and head right on down the sideline.
Well, he has a nice running style. Looks a little bit like Eric Dickerson, dare I say, with the high knees and the 90-degree angle as he took it down to the 38. And now back to live action, Royals. 1st and 10 will pick up about 4 yards. You look at Jaime Melgoza, his first year as the Dons head coach, a 15-year plus assistant at Santa Barbara, but this is his first big game as the head man, seeing the Royals marching effectively on their first possession. And before the 2nd and 5 play, we'll have a stoppage as our first penalty marker comes out. And it's going to be a 5-yard mark-off. Encroachment against the Dons. So it will bring up 2nd down and less than a yard for the Royals. They have it at the Dons' 28-yard line, just underway. Settle back and enjoy it on Cox 8. Kyle Miller will have another first down as he powers his way to the Dons' 24-yard line, gain of 4, and another Royals first down.
And the Royals rushing attack is just coming out with a bang tonight, John, marching right down the field. No need to air it out at this point when your running backs are getting you that much yardage with each handoff. So excellent job.
Reminiscent of the Dos Pueblos game in which San Marcos came out and was very effective. 1st and 10, receivers are split, eye set. Clark gets the pitch toss. The ball comes out, but they are going to say he was down. The ground, of course, cannot cause a fumble. The Dons player, Bradley Jellison, took the ball to midfield, but that ball came out after he was on the ground.
And here's a replay. You see Clark take the pitch, able to evade a tackler, and just gets his feet taken out from under him. And as John said, the ground caused the fumble, and can't do that in high school football.
Landed on his back, and then once he hit the ground, the play is dead. The ball squirted at that time. And now, in fact, the Dons a little frustrated over not getting possession, have a personal foul called against them for unsportsmanlike. So that will move the ball half the distance all the way down to the Santa Barbara 12-yard line. Now the Dons frustrated they didn't get the call their way for the turnover, but it's still a penalty you can ill afford to have early in this game. Dons averaging less than 7 points a game offensively, and you can't afford personal fouls to give the Royals continued field position. Manny Hernandez here from the 12-yard line will bowl his way for about a yard. Boy, what a spectacular game he had under our cameras in that Dos Pueblos game. Manny had 18 tackles, punted for over 40-yard average, and had a touchdown in the game as well.
He's definitely a name we'll be hearing on both sides of the ball tonight, defensively and offensively. Tough guy.
2nd down and 10 from the 12. This is Clark trying to get inside the Dons' defensive front in the olive and gold with a pretty nice stand here. Clark will get down perhaps to the 10-yard line. Will give him a pickup of 2 on the play, but it will bring up 3rd down and a long 8. Nice tackle for Santa Barbara. That was Robert Palmer along with Stephen Pena, big number 70. So a critical play here early in the ball game. Royals threatening. Send 3 receivers, 2 to the far side. And Crook under center. No sooner than he pulls out from the snap that he sees flags coming in from the sidelines. This one's going to cost San Marcos 5 yards. Well, I would think the insight coming in, Jeff, to this one would be San Marcos at home, probably favored, and the sooner they, from their perspective, can try to put the Dons away, the better. The Dons, from their perspective, the longer they can stay in the game, keep the emotions pumping as Crook looks for Kirkwood in the corner of the end zone. It was broken up nicely. Good coverage by Kenny Foster. You see him there, the Dons' leading receiver, playing on defense.
Let's take a look at the replay. You see Crook go into the air. Kenny Foster playing some nice D, throwing it to the back shoulder of Benny Kirkwood. Almost able to come up with the ball, but not quite. Big stop by the Santa Barbara Dons. They really needed that.
That was a great job. Kirkwood is 6'5". Foster's only 5'9", but he got up and played with the big tight end. And now a fake field goal on 4th and 13. It will be a pitch toss. And out of bounds, Eric Gutierrez will be short. And Santa Barbara is going to take over on downs. You see Gutierrez there. Not sure if that was a design play or just a bad snap. Looked like a clean snap back to the holder. That might have been a design play, but it backfires here as Santa Barbara will have it at their 8-yard line.
I think so, John. It looked like Coach Hess called a fake field goal, tried to get him in a big hole quickly, but unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Santa Barbara, they were able to read it and stop it, and Santa Barbara ball going the other way.
Now let's see if the Dons can take some of that momentum. R.J. Roseboro, who missed last week's game, as we told you, with a stinger, is back in the lineup. Dons, though, hurting in the backfield as they lost Braden Stuva to a separated right shoulder 2 weeks ago. That was in their game against Buena. So we'll see what they do. 2 yards picked up here on the 1st down carry.
Looked like Chase Chandler with the first carry for the Dons.
And he may get the ball a few times tonight. A slot receiver. Foster going in motion here on 2nd and 8. Roseboro fires complete at the 15. Foster with a nice move. Slides his way over the 20 and will pick up a Dons 1st down. Pretty cut there by the senior Kenny Foster.
See RJ dropping back, looking to his left, comes back to the right, finds Foster wide open in the flats. Able to shake the first tackler and gain a couple more yards. 1st down, Santa Barbara.
Foster picking up 14 on the play. As I said, comes in as their leading receiver. That was catch number 32 on the year. From the 24 now, Roseboro will take it himself and straight up the middle has 1st down yardage and more as he busts over the 40-yard line and excites the Dons crowd on the far side of the field. Gain of 18 and a Dons 1st down.
Really nice run by RJ there, but you got to give credit to his offensive line. They opened up some big holes for him on that run, and nothing but green ahead of him.
Royals coach is a little bit concerned after that run as you look at their sideline briefly. Just over 5:15 to play in the opening quarter. No score. Valley Stadium the scene for this 50th big game. Roseboro feels the heat, steps up and fires, and the pass is incomplete over the outstretched arms of Foster. Good coverage. Victor Mendez, the junior defensive back, was mano a mano with the Dons' deep threat on that one.
Good job by RJ avoiding the sack there. He's getting a lot of pressure in the backfield, able to find Foster down the field, but unfortunately couldn't come up with a pass.
First incompletion on Roseboro's second pass of this evening. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Dons with trips to the far side, single receiver near side, one back into block. Roseboro, again out of a shotgun snap, will take it himself and nudges the ball out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play, and will bring up a 3rd and 7. Now, San Marcos might be a little surprised at what the Dons are doing offensively thus far without Stuva in the lineup. As you took a look at Bashan Harvey, who made the tackle for San Marcos. Ball at the 45, 3rd and 7. 4-man rush, setting up a screen. Pass is caught near midfield. That's Mark Perez, who made the catch, will take it into San Marcos territory, but will be short of the first down by a yard. Let's take a look at this screen.
And here we see RJ dropping back, throwing the screen. A couple blockers in front of him here. Cut it back to the middle of the field. And nice tackle by San Marcos, and came up just short of the first down.
Dons are going to go for it. Why not? 4th and 1. Roseboro trying to sneak. His first effort was not good enough, and the second effort will all depend on the spot. The Royals certainly think he was short, but it all comes down to the official's mark. He made 2 surges, Jeff, and it didn't look like either one would be good enough, but we're going to see a measurement here.
Yeah, that second surge might have been just enough. It looks by the angle of the ball here, it looks like he just has it by a nose.
It all depends on the spot. They will bring the chains. They're marking it just inside the 49-yard line. So once again, another one of these eyelash calls. We've had a lot of very close 4th down plays that resulted in spots in the games we've telecast this year. And the Royals, you can see them. They'll celebrate as the mark is short. So no gain on the sneak by Roseboro. The Royals, their turn to take over on downs.
Excellent stop by the Royals front defensive line on that one. So far we saw Santa Barbara with a good stop with their backs to the goal line, and San Marcos doing it on 4th down midfield. They take over with excellent field position.
And they do so with 3:45 to play in the opening quarter. They'll go to their bread and butter, Kyle Miller, on first down from the Royals 49, and Miller quickly into Santa Barbara territory as he rips off 8 yards down to the Dons 43. And quickly a timeout is called. Beautiful night here, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. So glad you're with us for this 50th big game on award-winning Cox 8. Royals and Dons are scoreless. Marker comes shooting out on 2nd and 2 as the Dons charge with their first timeout of the opening half. And this one's going to be a hold against the Royals. So as soon as they get the ball on the Dons side of the field, it looks like it's going back on the San Marcos side. Mike Vale, our head referee tonight in the white hat. He'll step off 10 yards on the Royals' second penalty of this opening quarter. Moving it back to the 47-yard line as you look at Crook there, seeing exactly what he sees with the Dons defense. Little delayed draw to Cody Clark to the 45. Nice spin move. Was tripped up by Beto Lopez of Santa Barbara, but Clark with a nifty run down to the Santa Barbara 41-yard line. Let's take a look.
Here we see Crook with the ball, handing it off to Clark with a delayed draw up the middle, breaks it off to the outside. Gain of 11, move the chains, first down San Marcos.
Royals up to their old tricks again already, Jeff. 69 yards on the ground. Clark has 46 on his first 4 carries. Royals this time will have Kyle Miller take the ball down to the 35-yard line, a solid gain of 6. R.J. Roseboro helping out on the tackle. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Opening quarter, scoreless from Valley Stadium. Royals 2-7 on the year. Dons 0-9. And this play, Clark gets stood up by a host of Dons. Take your pick on that tackle. And Clark is going to be shoved back for a loss of 2, back to the 37.
Excellent penetration from the right side of the defensive line for Santa Barbara, able to stop Clark in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Something we haven't seen much of tonight.
No, one of the rare negative plays from either side in this opening quarter. Offense is moving the ball from the 30 to the 30 thus far, and Miller on 3rd and 6 is going to power his way for a Royals first down. Bulls inside the 30 as he rips off another 11 yards down to the 26.
Let's take a look at the replay. Here you see the handoff up the middle, and once again, just breaking it downfield. Miller just not even getting touched until he's 6-7 yards downfield. Another big gain for him.
And right back to live action. I love San Marcos's attitude about getting the play off, get right back in, call the play, and go. It's like a tidal wave. Don't give the defense any chance to try to regroup.
Exactly. You have the defense on their heels. Just keep punching it at them. Don't give them time to recover. Excellent play calling.
Cody Clark picking up a yard there. We'll bring up a 2nd and 9, just over a minute to play. Still scoreless, but the Royals, who had threatened once, threatening again here from the Don 25. Cadence by Crook, but the Dons stay on side. And Clark, the ball carrier, will be stopped in his tracks for no gain. Several Santa Barbara players in on the stop, among those Luis Gutierrez, the 5'8" senior defensive lineman. So another 3rd down for the Royals here from the Santa Barbara 25. We'll call it 3rd and 9. Gibson slotted to the far side. Crook again has one of the Dons bounce, but not over the line of scrimmage, and he hits Benny Kirkwood, who makes the catch, knocks over the down marker, but they say out of bounds. So it will be ruled incomplete. Kirkwood made the catch, but ruled out of bounds.
Let's take a look at the replay. He's rolling out to his right, sees Kirkwood downfield. Nice little toss. Kirkwood tries to get his feet in. Unfortunately, he doesn't, and takes out the down marker. And unfortunately, it wasn't a completion, so now it's 4th down San Marcos.
Sideline official was right there and made a quick call, so he had a good look at it. Only need 1 foot in bounds. Kirkwood was unable to do that, so brings up 4th and 9 here. Play fake Crook. Lobs one to Foster, who should have had an iron tee at the 5-yard line, but the Dons coaches will take it as Santa Barbara, for the 2nd time in this quarter, will take over on downs.
He's better off not catching that one. They have better field position since it was 4th down.
Great point, Jeff. Saves them 20 yards in field position as the Dons, with just 7 seconds to play in the quarter, will take over at the 25, and a pitch toss. Roseboro to his back gets buried. That was Santa Barbara's Ricky Laguna, and Laguna dropped for a loss. And that play will bring the opening quarter to a close here at Valley Stadium. That's the end of the first quarter when the 50th big game. The Dons and Royals scoreless on the new Image Ad Group scoreboard on a crystal clear night here in Santa Barbara. Any surprise?